A woman sent me an email with her story time, and some of this could be triggering, so I'm just putting that out there as a trigger warning. She says, "Good morning, Verb. I first off wanted to thank you for the good work that you're doing. You are speaking on the topics that women need to be made aware of. After being a longtime follower, I feel that the timing is right to share my story. You have given me the courage to talk to a topic I have the firsthand experience of the hell that these situations can become. Time is a thief, but also hindsight is a gift. I can truly say that after decades of analyzing, overthinking, and re examining every scenario in my mind, I know that there was not one thing that I could have done differently. I was young, naive, and in love, but I know that there were not glaringly obvious red flags at the beginning. The red flags that I see playing out with young women who were once in my shoes, the difference was I was young and in the same age as my ex, not a 15-year age difference. I want to hug these young women, shake them, and help them get some sense. Sadly, with the gift of hindsight, I can see all of the facts and have the ability to connect the dots and still have little to no power to help if fix anything, or fix anything. It is an impossible place to be in. I'm going to try to keep this to a reasonable length for a story. The topic I want to speak on is something that is not talked about enough. It is the aftermath of post-separation abuse. I have been living an unimaginable hell for over 8 years. Most think that once you leave the abuse, it ends and all is well, when in all actuality, it just gets worse. My children and I were able to leave the daily abuse after 12 years, but then it just continued in the form of harassment and financial abuse. I can't go into the gory details as there are still criminal charges and I am unable to speak on things until things have gone through the proper channels. My daily life before I left was a constant state of survival mode. I was constantly on edge trying to protect myself from unwanted sexual advances, and some of which I had no control over. Once I left and visitation began to occur without me, the focus on the direct abuse focused on my children. Not only did this manifest in a physical, mental, and emotional abuse, it also sadly ended up in SA for the children as well. This constant state of post-separation abuse, which has resulted in over $100,000 of debt in lawyers' fees, constant unnecessary filings with the court to waste money and time, anything to avoid the inevitable. I have reached the end of my rope. I have nothing else to be able to keep this nonsense going. I have retainers I need to replenish for lawyers. I have evaluations of which I do not have the magic funds to pull from. I have to file bankruptcy because I have exhausted every option I have. My poor husband works so incredibly hard for our family. I spend my days driving kids to constant therapies due to the trauma they have experienced. We are a family of 6 in a 5-seater car that needs major repairs. I feel like I'm barely able to keep my head above water. This mama is exhausted, embarrassed, and feeling helpless. I can't even provide the Christmas my children deserve. This was never the place I wanted to be. I have worked way too hard to not be able to provide the life my children deserve. All this because a predator cannot take accountability for the monster they are. She has kids range from 3 to 17, and she has given a lot of gory details. There was all kind of abuse in this situation, and she had to leave. And some people get on here, like when I'm making these story times, and like, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? And sometimes it's like, well, where am I going to live with these kids? Are we going to live in the car? Because people don't realize, and we've done a story time about this, that sometimes the shelters are not safe. Sometimes the shelters don't have space. Sometimes these people that work the shelters don't have the empathy for people that are struggling with surviving. So sometimes, people need to take a step back, have some empathy for some of the things that people are going through. Like she said, they're not going to always be these glaring red flags. And that's the reason why we do need to continue to have these consistent story times. One thing I do know is that women need to stay away from the police types, the military types, because I have heard about post-separation abuse regarding these people, because they know, lawyers sometimes, judges, people in the legal atmosphere, because they know how to find your information, they know the workarounds, they know how to target you. So, I'm not saying stay away from all of these people. I mean, but they know how to find your information. This woman has a GoFundMe. It'll be in the comment section on my YouTube page. If you're over here on TikTok, we all know that the deadline for the TikTok ban is fast approaching. Go ahead and follow me over here on Bourbon Bougie. Like I said, this woman, her GoFundMe, it'll be in the YouTube comment section of this video. So go ahead and join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.